Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! I need a thumbnail. I'm YouTube. If you watch my review channel, you know what I'm talking about. I do constant thumbnails. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2025.5.2.7. The album, Dad AF. Rock on, Goldust Woman. Okay, so I started this video on my patio, but then my neighbor came outside to watch Netflix, and I just felt bad. So I was like, I'm just gonna go inside and I'm gonna redo this whole video. So I got like halfway through this video, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back in, but I'm gonna like mix up the questions. I'd only got to like 3 of the questions anyway. So we're gonna start this all over again. Reading assumptions about me. About 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 1 day ago, I don't know when it was, I put up on Instagram that I wanted to do the video reading people's assumptions about me. So I put this up and people answered. I literally, you guys, I got like hundreds and hundreds of responses. So we're gonna go through here and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna read them. And I will tell you if your assumptions are correct or incorrect. So, okay. The first one is from Christina Randall. I love Christina so much. Hey Christina, how are you? And she said, she has a YouTube channel, go check it out. And she said, you're an affectionate person, a cuddler. And then she put like this little like heart face. I am. I'm an extremely affectionate person and I am a cuddler. I come from an extremely affectionate family. My husband is affectionate. My best friend is affectionate. Most of my friends in my life are really affectionate people. And I don't know, like, I just think that like, hugging and compassion, that too. But hugging and cuddling and all that is just kind of part of my language that I speak, I guess. I don't know. I will tell you the funny thing is, my husband and I are like huge cuddlers, but neither one of us can sleep like spooning. Oh my God, family friendly. But like spooning or cuddling or any of that. We have to like have our own space. And I typically have to sleep with one leg out and the fan right on me. Like, I call it air conditioning my leg. So yeah, I can't be cuddling with somebody when I'm trying to sleep. I just can't do it. I have to be comfortable. But other than that, I am a huge, huge affectionate person. So, good question. Okay. The next one is from GingerGonzoReads, which is also Mel, who is the co-host of Peter's Book Club, which is the book club that we run together. If you don't know, I have a book club called Peter's Book Club with Mel, and it is a true crime book club. Every month we read a different true crime book. For October, we are reading The Iceman Chronicles by Philip Carlo. It is about a mafia hitman. And in September, we read My Friend Anna, which was about a fake German heiress that got away with like $300,000 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so every month we read something different. This summer we did the Summer of Serial Killers. It's really, really fun. I hear there might be a podcast coming very soon. I don't know. It's been in the talks for quite some time. So anyway, and if you are looking for a new bookstagrammer, go check out Mel, GingerGonzoReads. Your book club kicks ass, and so does your co-host. Well, of course my co-host kicks ass. And Mel is so fantastic, and anything behind the scenes to do with the book club, as well as she co-hosts the live stream with me, she does all of it. I love her dearly. I love you, Mel. Go check out her bookstagram, GingerGonzoReads. I will link it below. Okay. Whoo! Hold on a second. I need some coffee. Fences. Okay. I assume, oh, this is from Jess Kent. I assume you love Jessica Kent. I do love Jessica Kent so much. I love you, Jess. And, okay, so if you don't know, Jessica and Christina are prison channels, and I have totally fallen in love with both of their channels. Go check them out. Listen, Jessica is almost about to hit 100,000 subscribers. If you guys could go follow her channel and subscribe to her, that would mean the world to her. I'm asking you. I'm begging on my bloody knees. Go subscribe to Jessica Kent. I will link her below so that she hits 100,000 subscribers. As if I have that kind of clout. I have 0. Okay. The next one is, let's see. Some of these, you guys, I don't really understand what you're asking. Okay, like it's hard for me to read. So this is 2, and they kind of go together. And this is from Kelly. Okay, I think you do not like to keep bad feelings towards a person. It may take time, but you prefer to let go of the negative. And then she said, sorry, you prefer to let go of the negative, but don't let the people back, and it goes with another assumption. So she put the assumptions together. Okay. Yes and no. Okay, so Listen, I'm all about forgiveness. I'm a really big proponent of forgiveness and giving people multiple chances. You know that. Who would I be if I didn't believe in that? I have fallen on my face and made so many mistakes in my life. I've done so many things that, you know, like, I've really learned from. And I say this a lot in my life, you know, or my videos, that I've learned more in my life from my mistakes instead of my successes. You know, the last year or two has been just really a growth period for me. Everything that's happened in my life, you know, I've looked at, and with the help of my sponsor and my counselor and my husband and my best friend and my other friends in recovery and things, you know, I've really had the opportunity to look at things that have happened in my life, or who I have been in the past and who I want to be going forward and who I am now. And asking myself, like, well, why was I that person? Or who am I today? And who do I want to be going forward? And all of those moments have been opportunities for growth for me. But one of the things that I've really, really learned, probably the paramount lesson that I've learned, is that I've got to stop pointing my finger at other people. I've got to stop saying, well, let me tell you about them, or let me tell you about them, or you don't know about them, right? Because when I'm doing that, I cannot fix somebody else, all right? And I don't really even have the desire to try today in a situation that's personal with me. All I can do is fix myself, right? All I can be responsible for is my response or my reaction to what somebody else does to me or says to me. It really has nothing to do with them. And really what I've also learned is that many situations that have happened in my life with other people have been phenomenal opportunities for growth, you know, as long as I am open to learning the lesson. Whenever I call my sponsor, if I've had like an argument with a friend or whatever, you know, and I call my sponsor, she'll say, A, what is your part in it? And B, this is an opportunity for growth. Let's inventory this. And we do, you know? And then I get to see who I've been in that situation and who I want to be going forward. I believe that, you know, like I say this in my Peterisms videos a lot, I believe that life is like this school that we never graduate from, as long as we are open to the lesson. But you have to be open to the lesson. You have to remain teachable, you know? And that's what I've tried to do. You know, listen, I'm never going to be a perfect example of that. I'm going to continue to screw up. I hope maybe, you know, I don't screw up the same ways. I hope I learn from my past mistakes. But I don't want to be that person, you know, the same mistakes I made in the past. So if I'm asking that other people forgive me, don't I have to be willing to forgive other people as well? And then I think that also goes with living a language of, you know, compassion, love, kindness, you know, integrity, things like that, humility. And I don't know. I think today I want to look at people with a loving heart. And, you know, if somebody asks me for forgiveness, why would I ever shut that door? I don't understand that. That doesn't necessarily mean I have to let them back in. But I will say this, you know, people have come back in my life that I never would have expected. Never in a million years would I have ever expected, you know, that like we had some huge falling out like 10 years ago. And I was like, I'll never speak to them again. And then, you know, all of a sudden they're like back in my life again. It's like life is a weird thing, and as you get older, you kind of realize that things that meant something to you 10 years ago just kind of lose the steam over time. So that's a good assumption, though. Okay, somebody said you're not going to address the Trish trans video. No, I'm not going to. I addressed this kind of in my Q&A that I did recently. I don't, at this point, plan on making any videos anywhere in the near future about Trisha Paytas. That may change. I'm totally open to changing my opinion about something, but I've kind of decided that I'm not willing to do that. I did watch a couple minutes of the video. I also went and watched a couple minutes of the apology video, which is monetized. And I thought, you know, this is the thing. I really don't respect Trisha at this point, okay? And Trisha does videos about very, very sensitive topics at times that are very, it gets a lot of attention, and then there's no follow-up on it down the road. And the topics she talks about, I don't know her journey. I don't know anything about her journey. With any of the topics that she talks about, okay? And I'm not gonna claim to. But they're very personal topics to me, and I just don't feel like I can continue to entertain it anymore by giving attention to topics that are very, very serious to me. I mean, these are extremely serious topics to me, and maybe more serious than just sitting down and kind of just spilling some thoughts out. I can't do it anymore. So at this point, I have decided that I am no longer going to be making Trisha Paytas videos going forward. And, you know, like I said this in my Q&A, I'm very, very aware that she has her issues with me. I wish her all the best. I really, really do. I wish her the best life. In all honesty, I do. I just am not willing to entertain that anymore. I just can't. So, all right, next question. Michelle said, you are fabulous, and that would be an incorrect assumption, but okay. Sarah said, Vivian and Jane are based off of people you know or knew. Okay, no, this is funny. So, Jane and Vivian, this whole thing came from this video that I did in the post office. It was called the Post Office Rant. If I can find it, I'll link it at the end of this. But it was where I was just like, I was in the post office, I was stuck in line, and there was this woman there, and she became Vivian. And so that's just how it all started, you guys. It just was like, I don't know, like if you've watched my videos for a long time, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's where she was sitting in the post office and she was talking about the movie Fences. So anyway, yeah, that's where it came from. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to pick some kind of fun ones. Lady Meyer said, you like Swiss cheese. I like any kind of cheese. You are absolutely correct. I love any kind of cheese. Havarti is probably my favorite, but I also love like jalapeno jack, so. Okay, Danny said, I miss Tanya Jean, need a late night vlog with you and her again if she's down. Okay, so that's not really an assumption, but okay, here's the situation. You know, my family and friends have been, I feel like I just addressed this. I either talked about this in a vlog or I talked about it in the Q&A video. My family and friends have been really, really grossly affected indirectly by my being on YouTube and people violating their privacy. And I'm just not willing to allow that to continue to happen, you know, by me putting them in videos. Unless they absolutely are like, yes, I will do it. You know, my husband's completely open to doing videos. He likes doing the Q&As with me. He doesn't really care. But, you know, like when, you know, my in-laws have been affected by this, Tanya has been affected by this, my cousins, I mean, everybody in my life has been affected by this. My father, who chooses to stay incredibly private, he's never wanted to be part of this. I've never put him in a video. I speak about him very limited because he chooses that, has been affected by this. You know, at some point, I have to pull it in and say, you know what, I'm not willing to play into this anymore by continuing to expose all of this. And so even though they're like, yeah, I'll be in a video, whatever, like in a vlog last week sometime, Tanya was in just like, I dropped her off at the grocery store and I was sitting there vlogging and she got in and she was literally like in 2 seconds. She doesn't mind doing that, but unless it's a very planned out video like I did with like my best friend and she sat down and talked, she probably won't just be in some random videos anymore. And, you know, there's a lot of people that want to be on YouTube and want the attention. And I think any of us that are on YouTube, do we throw around this word, you know, attention seeking and all that kind of stuff? Who isn't that's on YouTube? That would be my question, okay? You make videos for people to watch, but you're not attention seeking. We're all attention seeking if we're on YouTube. Let's just be for real, okay? We all want people to like us. We all want validation. It's like, let's just be for real, okay? Let's just cut the BS about it, right? It's like when people say, I've said this for years. I've said this since I very started on YouTube, that people say, you know, like, I don't really care about the views and the subs. Well, I understand that that might not be your priority, that your priority is making content, making videos, I'm just a dude with a camera, that you really, really love. But in all actuality, you do care about that because the more views you're getting means more people are watching your video that you sat down and made and put out. If you don't believe me, ask somebody that gets 5 views on a video and they always are wondering, why is my video not getting more views? And they take it personally, right? And I understand that. I think I get kind of like a mix-up of it because like on my Peterson's channel, I hardly get any views on those videos. But the people that watch it consistently, and I probably get more messages from that channel than any other channel from people saying like, you've really, really helped me, or I really needed to hear this and whatever. So I don't know that I think it is about the view count, but I think it's important for us to look at our intention of what we're doing. Don't we want people to watch our videos? Isn't that why we're making videos? You know what I mean? But my friends and my family didn't ask for that, and they didn't ask to be in it, and I'm not willing to put them on there anymore. So, Sam said, you hate your drama channel intro. I don't hate it at all, you guys. Like, it's funny because it's probably the #1 thing that people ask me to do the most. Like, I get asked, like, if I get stopped anywhere, people will be like, can you do your intro? And I'm like, I don't have a fan. Like, I don't carry a fan around with me. I know it's hard to believe. but I don't carry a fan around me. I do not hate my drama channel intro. The thing is, at this point, I don't really know what else to do. Like, I try to do it as quick as possible so it doesn't lead into the video, but every time I do a poll saying, should I change it? It's like an overwhelming amount still says keep it, but like it kind of goes down. So the next time I do the poll, if it evens out and people want me to change it, I'll change it. Okay. What is this? Somebody said, when you write your books, you use voice recognition software, you don't type. No, that's totally incorrect. No, I don't even know that I would. Listen, I got my glasses on, I can't do that. I have no idea how I would use voice recognition software. No, I type it completely. Okay, but I will tell you something that's really funny. That I don't know if many people know this. I specifically type on a HP notebook, and I'm working on a new book, and I actually bought a new one, and I've never opened it. I'm getting ready to open it and use it, because that's what I like open, or that's what I wrote my first book on, and I don't even know that they make them anymore. They're literally like $200 at Walmart, but I just loved it so much to write on, and I could take it everywhere, and I could carry it with me. I didn't care if it got damaged and whatever, so so I'm kind of like old school about that a little bit. Okay, let's see. Somebody said, your fixed expenses are very low, which allows you a lot of financial freedom. Oh, Kristen said this. Yeah, that's true. And that was something that was deliberate when I was much younger. I've talked extensively about this on my vlog, that, you know, when I was a lot younger, and I was, you know, working full-time and saving money, it was very deliberate for me that I wanted to be semi-retired by a certain age. I mean, obviously at that time, YouTube didn't even exist. I had no idea, you know, that there would be an opportunity for me to make videos and possibly make some extra coin and all that kind of stuff. Because our next question is that it's starting to make a difference financially for you. Yes, absolutely. And I think that YouTube can be a great way for people to make money. And, you know, and I think also, like, we don't talk enough about this. We talk a lot about what YouTubers make and all this kind of stuff, but to be able to do something that you absolutely love, like, I just can't even imagine my life today getting up and, like, not thinking about what videos I was going to make for the day. I mean, I live for this. Like, I got up today and I was like, I knew that I was going to go review this Joella's hot chicken pumpkin pie in a jar. That's what I reviewed today. And I was so excited about it. And I thought about, like, when I go over there where I'm going to sit and park my car. You know, like, I just can't even imagine my life. You know, and it's not like I make any kind of huge money off that channel. But, you know, just the idea that you get to do what you love to do, and I think that this goes above and beyond YouTube. You know, my father always taught me, do what you love and the money will follow, but if the money doesn't follow, then at least you're doing something that you love. And I so believe that. So, you know, not all of us have that opportunity, but, like, let's say if you're in a job that you don't love right now, work towards something that you like in the future, say 5-10 years from now, this is what I want. And that's what I did. I mean, when I was in my 20s, I knew I wanted to retire early. And I just financially was smart about things. And so, you know, I think you just have to think those things through of what's important to you. Ronnie said, I assumed you would do this type of video. Well, you assumed right. Okay. Callie said, the drama community has been getting cliquey and you've been keeping your distance. Well, I don't know that them getting cliquey, I don't even know that that's a word that I would necessarily use. I mean, friendships change a lot within YouTube. Friendships change a lot within the drama community. I have just realized, and I talked about this in my Q&A too, that for me, and yes, I am still friends with several of the drama channels. For me, I don't need to shout it from the mountaintops. I don't need to, like, you know, show all that. I want to be over here doing what I love and kind of just trying to stay in my own lane. And, you know, it's one of the reasons why I don't get on Twitter a lot, and I don't, like, Twitter can be, to me, very toxic. Like, sometimes I get on it and I start seeing a lot of stuff and I just get off. I just get right off, you know? And for me, it's like, okay, I don't need to be on it too much. Well, I think that, you know, I have learned that maybe, you know, it's more enjoyable for me to kind of be over here doing my thing. But yeah, I still talk to drama channels. There's friends of mine that I talk to on a daily basis, you know? So I think that I've kind of always been that person in my life that better operates by myself on my own. You know what I mean? Okay, Lynn said, sorry, Peter, don't like making assumptions. I think it can lead to negative thinking. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Okay. Marissa said you're not a cat person. You assumed correctly on that one. Okay, Holly said you find the positive in all situations and focus on living your best life every day. I do, but this is the thing. I don't want people to think that it comes easy. You know, I get a lot of questions from people and they'll be like, oh, you like wake up on a daily basis and you're in just like such a great mood. No, that's not true. Like it takes some work for me. You know, I have to sit down and I have to do, you know, my meditations in the morning, you know, all this kind of stuff. There's a lot that I do in the morning, gratitude list, my prayers, you know, things like that. There's a lot that I do every single day to get there. I am a believer that we have tools, okay, if we're working, you know, towards right living, that we have tools that we can use to have the best day possible and that we can have the best life possible and that we can focus on the positivity. That's a choice, and I have a choice whether I focus on the positive or the negative. Some days it's harder than others, you know? Some days I want to focus on the negative. But that's when I pick up my tools, like call my sponsor or vent to my husband or talk to my best friend or just journal it or inventory it, you know, or meditate on it. And I think to myself, what am I going to gain today by focusing on the negative? You know, will I gain more from today if I focus on the positive or on the negative? Which would I rather focus on, you know? And then I also have to ask myself on a scale of 1 to 10, this negative thing that's going on in my life right now that I'm wanting to focus my attention and ruin my day over, 5 years from now, will this be a 10 or a 1? Like if, you know, if it's like road rage that I'm going to forget about, you know, like in 5 minutes, do I really want to ruin my day over that? You know what I mean? Like there's going to be enough 10 moments, like number 10 moments in our life that are just really horrible and ruin our days. I'd rather save those days for then. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to make all of my, I don't need to catastrophize everything in my life. And then when you stop doing that, you start looking at your life and you realize I have a pretty good life. Like I'm really blessed, you know? And I think that's one of the things I really, you know, if my life is an example for, you know, especially about people in recovery, I want people to know you can have a fantastic, amazing, fun, exciting life in recovery. It doesn't have to be the end when you get sober. Like that's been one of my intentions of getting on and talking about sobriety and talking about being a, you know, openly talking about being a sober person, which I do all over in my life anyway. But, you know, it's really important for me to do that so people can see you too can have this, right? You know, I think the other thing is that it's important for people to realize it's just like, I don't want people to wake up and think, man, I'm down today. Like it takes work for all of us, you know, and if it's days on end, find somebody to, you know, talk to, find a professional person to talk to, you know, a counselor, a therapist, a life coach, find somebody to talk to that can help you through those tough times because they're not going to just go away, and neither is that. Okay, so let's get to the next assumption. Let's see. Okay, you are super sentimental, said Maggie. I am super, super sentimental. Are you ready? Hello. Boo Radley wanted to come up and say hi. I am super sentimental. And, you know, I was talking about this on my vlog last night, actually, that my friend Tanya and I always talk about... He's basically a meerkat, okay? I think he looks like a meerkat. He said he used to live in Meerkat Manor. Okay, but my friend Tanya and I were talking about this all the time, that we always are talking about like old memories instead of making new memories, you know? And I want to make new memories. I'm at a point in my life where I want to start making new memories. Okay, let's see. 1619 said you liked girls when you were younger. Okay, no, I'm a golden star. I've never been with a girl. I dated a girl in high school, and I've talked about this on here before, and then she, oh, it's going to stop. Hold on. And then, okay, so I dated a girl when I was in high school, like my senior year, the last 6 months of my senior year, and then the first 6 months of college, and she was a senior, she was a year behind me, and then she came out, and I came out. She and I came out at like the same time. We didn't talk to each other about it. We just like broke up, and then she came out and I came out. Weird how that happens. No, it wouldn't have been, it would have been just my senior year, because I came out right after I graduated from high school, so yeah. Okay, Chris said, karaoke king, question mark, exclamation mark. I'm not really a karaoke person. I get very nervous. I have a horrible social anxiety, so I don't like to be in huge groups of people, like, and be spotlighted. Like, I'd rather, like, kind of hide back in the shadows, so to speak. So, no, I wouldn't say that I am a huge karaoke king. But I do want to give a shout out. I forgot about this. I was at Woodstock in Fishers this weekend, and I met Jessica and Joanna. They came all the way from Bloomington to go to Woodstock, and they were like, oh my God, we watch all your videos. So I wanted to give them a little shout out. Now I cannot get back to my questions. See, Jessica and Joanna, what you made me do? Okay, let's get to this. Swiss cheese, okay. let's see. You low-key love makeup, said Sarah 16. I am very intrigued by makeup. And I have to tell you that I think that if I actually thought I knew what I was doing about it or wasn't afraid to try it, that I probably would sit and try some things. But, you know, there are so many things in life that I'm really, really interested in that I would rather spend my time like writing or listening to audiobooks or whatever. Like, I am interested in makeup. I'm interested more in like the business aspect of it and the interminglings of these people and things like that. I have a couple friends of mine that are extremely interested in makeup and have been so gracious to really educate me in the last year or two on makeup and the things I don't know. So I would say I know more than I thought I ever would know about makeup and the ingredients and things like that. And you know, it's the whole world of it is very interesting to me. Okay, let's see. So many people are like, oh my God, I love you, I love you. Thank you so much. Okay, okay, Lucy said that you think video games are a waste of time. Okay, this is so funny. I do not think that video games are a waste of time. I'm actually very, very intrigued by video games, but I just don't find them super interesting when I'm sitting there playing them, and I'm not any good at them whatsoever. I can't do the driving one, so I don't know how many people know this, but I have epilepsy. So anything that has like really bad depth of field, like close up, I can't do. So like, if I would play like Grand Theft Auto, I just feel like real dizzy. I don't like it, right? And my husband, there was a period of time when he was like super, super into Mario Kart and stuff like that. And I would want to play it, but I didn't really get it, and I don't understand it, and I'm not, you guys think I'm lying when I say I'm not technological. I really am not, okay? Like figuring out the joysticks and all, I can't do it, okay? Like, I don't get it, I don't understand it, but I think it's a very intriguing world, you know? I used to buy him video games all the time because he'd get so excited about something else coming out, you know? Okay, let's see. Somebody's, okay. Okay, hold on a second. Some of these are like repeats. You hold back, you want to say more in your drama videos than you allow yourself, said Kayla Nicole. I would say that's probably true, absolutely. I'm also, you know, very, I wouldn't say that it's that I hold back what I'm saying. I would say that it's I hold back how I'm saying it. In the last year, I've really focused a lot of attention on being very cognizant of how I say things. And, you know, it's interesting to me because, you know, I'll get some comments on a video and people will say like, you seem very, very bitter in this video. And then I'll watch it back and I'll think to myself, I didn't seem bitter at all in that video, right? So I have to be very careful because I am very exaggerated with my speech. You know, I have a lot of like ups and downs and whatever. And where I have noticed that other people can get away with it, I, for some reason, can't. When I say it, it apparently, like, I think it's because people, they think that I'm gonna come out and have some thoughtful idea or whatever. So when I get heated about something and I have a real strong emotion about it, okay, like, for example, last night I was in the vlog, I was talking about this book that we've been reading called My Friend Anna. We're doing a live stream for it in the book club this week. And I got real heated about this Anna girl, right? And even as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking to myself, like, people are going to be like, okay, we haven't seen this side of Peter. But I've been really, really working on being, you know, I'm a believer in that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know, and my mom used to say to me, you know, when you cuss a lot, people stop hearing what you're saying and they hear how you're saying it. They only hear those words. And I think that goes above and beyond just cussing. I think it extends also to, you know, how we speak and the tonation, the tone of how we speak and things like that. And I think it's really important. So no, I don't necessarily think that I don't go all in. It's that I hold back a little bit with how I say it, if that makes sense. Okay. You were a punk when you were younger. I totally was a punk when I was younger. Okay, Annie said you don't have a day job. I do not have a day job. I would say I have a couple different things going on, is how I would say that. Somebody said, you tell your puppy secrets. I tell my puppy secrets all the time. Oh my God! Okay. Brittany Marie said, you've been through a lot of traumatic experiences that make you the strong man you are now. I really appreciate that assumption. I want to say this though, you know, it's interesting when, You know, I'm a believer that we always lose by comparison. I say this in my, a friend of mine said this to me, and I say it in my Peter Christmas video a lot, you know, that we lose by comparison when we compare our lives to other people's journeys. And one of the things I've really, really realized is that I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I don't even know that I necessarily would use the word trauma. I've had a lot of traumatic experiences in my life, but not anywhere near what most people, I think, go through. I feel blessed that I have had people around me that have been willing to take those traumatic experiences and turn them into learning experiences for me, and helped me to learn from them and helped me to turn my wounds into wisdom. And I think that's, you know, one of the greatest strengths any of us have, is to turn our wounds into wisdom and share our stories with other people. Okay, let's see. Somebody said, Alana said, you're changing this curriculum for drama class. Should I? There's a lot of questions. You guys are asking a lot of questions about like my money situation. That's really interesting to me. Heather said, you have money but you are not frivolous. Okay, so this is interesting to me. I would say I'm frivolous at times, but about certain things. Like, I like to travel and I like to take nice trips, right? But like Tanya and I were talking about this the other day. There is like, I could buy nice things if I really wanted to. I was looking at some, you know, like different Gucci backpacks and things like that. And if you follow my blog, you'll know this. Like, this Gucci backpack was like $1,200, okay? And I was like looking at it and I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And Alex was like, you should get it. Like, you like it? You know, it's, you know, whatever. And I ended up getting this North Face mini backpack for $45. I wanted a mini backpack to carry like my chapsticks, my wallet, my camera, things like that, a book with me when I'm going around, right? And I ended up getting this North Face backpack, which I absolutely loved and I used on my entire trip, right? I'm kind of at a point today in my life where I like nice things. I think if you can afford them, do your thing, have what you want to have. I just don't prioritize them anymore, you know? And one of the things I've realized is there's a difference between what I need and what I want. And if I want something bad enough, it's okay for me to go out and get it, but I don't necessarily need it, you know what I mean? And so I really ask myself today, like, before I go and get something, like, is this going to make a difference for me? Like, is this, like, if I go and buy this thing, or if I have this, is it really gonna make me feel differently inside? Is it really gonna, like, am I gonna open this, am I gonna carry this backpack and feel like a different person? And if the answer is no, then I just don't need it. So I'm not super frivolous with that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Plus, I'm thinking about my future, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking about where am I gonna be in 10 years? So, you know, I think it's important to think that way, you know? Always have a savings account, I will say that. Okay, Paul said, so do you sing in the shower? I honestly assumed you did. My husband sings in the shower more than I do. He sings Rufus du Sol. He is obsessed with Rufus du Sol. He's constantly singing Rufus du Sol. If he's getting ready, it's Rufus du Sol. I don't sing. I used to. Here's another technological issue. We got another one of those like speaker things, or iBluetooth, Amazon, Siri, whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't like those things at all. Okay, I don't know how to use them. So I don't really know how to use them. He showed me so many times and I don't understand it, how to use it in the bathroom. I just really don't know how, so I don't really care. Okay. Somebody said, Navy Wife said that you're the jealous type. I'm really not at all, you know? I think maybe in my past, and not really since I've been with Alex. I mean, there have been moments that I have. I think there's moments for a lot of us. I think that anybody that struggles with any kind of insecurity is going to be jealous at some point in a relationship. But I've also been jealous of friends, you know, before, like, and things, you know, like, jealousy and envy today are not character traits that I really want to entertain a whole lot. I don't feel good when I'm experiencing those. So today, if I'm feeling that way, I pick up the phone and I call my sponsor and I'm like, hey, like, this is how I'm feeling. And she's like, okay, what's your part in that? This is an opportunity for growth. Those are the two things she always says. So, you know, okay, KW said you don't like camping. You are 100% correct. And Stephanie said, you love hard, and when someone hurts you, you take it deeper than most. I would actually say that's probably true. I think across the board, friends, family, romantic partners, everything, I would say that's probably true. Somebody said, Aimberry said, I love your vids, but I assume that you are not as giddy and happy in person. I don't know why, but I love you. Well, thank you. I think one of the things that you would find is funny is that every time somebody meets me in person, they're like, you are exactly the same in person as you are in video, which I don't know why that makes me happy, but it does make me happy, you know, because this is just who I am. I think I have different sides of myself though. Like, I think if you watch my Peterisms channel, you'll know like I'm more introspective. If you watch my review channel, you know it's just like the hilarity. I just love to have so much fun over there. My vlog is just literally me talking for an hour every night, you know? So I think there's different sides of me, and I think that we can have that. We can have different sides of us, you know? Okay, Drag Me Through the Mud said you are sassier than you let on. Like, not amused. I am 100% sassier than I let on. And, yeah, there's like, okay, like, in talking about certain situations, and maybe not even to do anything to do with YouTube, right? You know, but like, there's the calm and collected Peter, and then there's the Peter that like maybe be sitting in the car with his good Judy Tanya being like, let me tell you some truths, okay? Like, you need to pull in the reins, Peter, okay? Because you're gonna tell some truths on somebody here. Yes, I very much have that. I think one of the things that's hard for me is, and this is where I go back and forth, and I would actually be really, really interested to hear what you guys have to say this, especially you people that have watched me, you people, especially people that have watched me for a long time, you know, is that when I started YouTube, I was very much that, like, nah, you know, and I think what I have learned over time is that it's easier not to cause waves and just do what you love, but I also don't want to be a salted down version of myself, if that makes sense. I don't know, what would you guys rather see? Do you guys like the more thoughtful, provoking talk, or do you want the sassier Peter, or do you want a little bit of both? Don't say a little bit of both. It's hard to do back and forth, you know? It's hard to kind of be in a video and be like, Z formation, y'all remember that back in the day? And, you know, and then turn it into like a really like, okay, this is what I really thought about that. And so before I sit down on a video, I really do ask myself, like, is this gonna be a funny haha video? Or like, you know, I'm trying to think of something that I did recently. Or like the video about the Dolan twins, I knew going into that video that I was gonna be making a very serious response about the Dolan twins. Okay, this is getting really, really old. That too! My God, I'm the old man of YouTube. Very, very long. Okay, C. Perkins said, I would assume you are the most fun friend to do late night hangouts with. Of course I am. That's when I'm best, is late at night. Okay, somebody said you brush your teeth in the shower. I do not brush my teeth in the shower. Neither one of us do. Somebody said you are really introverted when not filming. I'm introverted, but like I'm getting better at it. Like when people come up to me and they'll say like, oh my God, I watch your videos. Like I'm a little bit better about it than I used to be. My camera battery is about to die, so I gotta get through these. Okay. Let's see. Somebody said, you only go to Starbucks to see Josh. No, that's not true, but Josh and I are doing a video next week. I don't know if I should put it up on my review channel or on this channel, but it's going to be called The Beautiful Life of, the Barista Life of Josh. And so Josh is my barista at Starbucks. He is fantastic, and he's in all my review videos, so go check him out. But I love everybody there. They're so fantastic to me. And Kelsey said, I'm going to end with this one. She said, your sobriety is the most important thing in your life. If you had told me 24 years ago, 9 months and so many days, that this is what my life would look like today, when I was, you know, my father looked at me and said, you can go to jail or you can go to treatment, but I'm done with you. I went to treatment because I'm not a stupid person, and I knew that that would be the easier of the two. I look back on that today and I look at the things that I was promised. If I stayed sober and I put one foot in front of the other, I was promised that relationships in my life would be repaired. I was promised that, you know, fear would go away. But I never in a million years had any idea that this is what my life would look like. To be able to get on video every single day, I would never have assumed that. I would never have been able to assume that my life is just this magical thing that it is today. And I've met so many of you, and I get to make videos and people like them, and you know, people send me stories about their life, and it's just, it's unbelievable. And so, like somebody said earlier, you know, maybe assumptions lead to negative things, you know, but maybe the opposite of that is that we need to dream a little higher too. And I think that, you know, I want to be an example for people that anything is possible. So thank you guys for sending your assumptions to me. I had a really great time doing that video. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow with more drama. Bye.